Freedom Fighters, back with another one. Well, today's topic, we're going to talk about how Letitia James and Kristi Noem are the same. And then we're going to cover this TikTok ban thing. But so I don't know if you saw the clip of the Letitia James. She was giving a speech in some, I think it was a firefighter kind of thing, conference. And they were heckling her and laughing and booing and stuff like that. And then they sent out a letter later, and I can't remember if it was her administration or the upper echelon in the fire department, but they sent out a letter like, we're going to fine the people that were laughing and booing, and you didn't show yourself in a professional manner, and you need to like show yourselves or come forward, or we're going to hunt you down and, re-educate you. And that's basically what it all comes down to. And there's no free speech. And I never understood how, these people show up to these, my friend was actually, he had Obama show up to his job one time. And, I was like, man, I don't know how you do it. Like, because I am not the one. I am not the one that you don't want to see. I don't want to meet these people, but these people don't want to meet me. And I'm not going to put on the pretty face and act nice when these people show up. And it's like, oh, well, your job's on the line and all that. I understand that, but I'd have to take a sick day or say you're going to go take a smoke break or something when they show up. But I personally could not be there. And they expect you to put on a happy face and shake their hand. And I don't know if you saw the video recently where Trudeau was out in public and the guy's like, I'm not shaking your hand. And then lit him up. They were cursing him out and like, we can't afford homes. We can't do anything. We're working 2-3 jobs just to survive. Your carbon taxes and gas and all this crap is, insane. And I'm not showing any respect to these people whatsoever. And then, like Biden, when he showed up to that construction site or I think it was a steel factory or something, and, all the guys had the hard hats on. And again, they do this for, imaging. Like, oh, we're hanging around the blue collar workers. And that guy steps up and goes, man, you're trying to take our firearms. You're trying to take our rights. And he's like, oh, yeah, this is when he infamously said, well, what do you need an AR-14 for? It's like, yeah, Joe, we need the 14s, the AR-10s, the 15s. Yeah, we need them all. And he's like, yeah, you don't need that kind of stuff. And, good on that guy, for stepping up. And, like, I don't care, what those are all union jobs and all these. Isn't it funny how all these, like, blue-collar work are always part of these, like, leftist worker unions. And you got to step up, man. Like, the time is now. Like, I've literally done a video about that. But, we just got to put it to an end. And people got to speak up. And that's part of the reason why I even started my channel again. We got to speak up and put these people in their place and let them know, we're not taking it anymore. But, and then you got Kristi Noem, which is a damn shame because, she was one in the column of people I liked. But, I said it recently, there's really none of them that I like anymore. Because I almost always know I've been disappointed time and time again where it's like, even if they put on a good act or they sound right in these little 15-minute news clips or, these little, their little TikTok things, which we'll talk about later, but, they're all snakes. They're all going to cross you at some point. So Kristi Noem also now put forward this hate speech legislation where you can't talk about a certain group that we can't even talk about. So, I'm not going to mention them, but everyone knows who they are. And it's just the stupidest thing ever. Like, who do you think you are to, violate the First Amendment? And it goes to these same people who are like, oh, yeah, we're pro-American. This is why I'm even, disenfranchised within the Republican Party. Is Kristi Noem will talk about freedom all day long, and she's a proud Second Amendment supporter and all this stuff, but she doesn't even support your right to, to have the conversation, to discuss about these issues. But no, if you talk, about this, or you have any disagreements or any criticisms whatsoever, that's hate speech. Which isn't a ridiculous concept within its own. That, the whole hate speech, hate crime thing, it's like, what is it? Define it. Is it criticisms? You talk bad about them, and then who's the one figuring out that it's hate speech? Right? One of their own. This goes back to, the organizations they run. And if you criticize them or you say, nope, we're not doing that because of this, well then, that's hate speech. And that goes for everybody. It doesn't matter if it's about, whites, blacks, Asians, or whatever. If you're criticizing Asians and then it goes to an Asian organization, well, look at this, what he said, that he doesn't like your policies and that, you're doing this and that. And they're like, oh, no, that's clearly hate speech. No, he just has to lay down and get rolled over and let us do whatever we want. No free speech there. And, hate crimes, it's ridiculous. Again, and it usually only goes against one way. Like, it's only white people who get charged with this stuff. But, Kamala Harris was out there recently, too, saying, we ought to, but I think she put forward legislation, we need to make hanging black people a crime, a hate crime. And it's like, it's already a crime. You frickin' idiot. Like, it's ridiculous. It's called murder, right? If you put a rope around anybody's neck, white, brown, whatever, Indian, Asian, whatever, it's murder. And it's against the law. But then you try to make it something else, like, and again, you're just, throwing fuel on the flames. And like, oh no, this is a racist country, and we gotta have legislation to not hang blacks, and it's ridiculous. And that's all they're doing. So what Kristi Noem has proposed, and I think it's beyond proposed, she signed it into law, is ridiculous. And she's not serious. She's not a serious person. She doesn't want to have the discussion. She doesn't want to debate it. She just wants to tell you to shut up. And, at one point, again, like I said, I was thinking she's one of the good ones. And was on, up on the list of maybe Trump's VP. And I sure as hell hope he doesn't pick her now. Because, I'm already on the fence of voting, period. But if that's the ticket, Trump, no, I would really have to think twice about, voting for that. So then the whole TikTok thing too, man, everyone's, and this is something I flip-flopped on. Because at first I was all for it. They were talking about this way back. And I'm like, yeah, it's a communist Chinese app. Look, I've never been on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok. But now I can see the argument people are having, and I'll defend its right to exist. They all talk about free enterprise and competition. Well, if you can just broad, stroke of a pen and wipe away the competition, where's the free market? And, I'm conflicted on the issue. It's controlled. It's a Chinese op, all this. But, Facebook's controlled. Right here on YouTube, we're controlled. All these platforms are controlled and censored and all this stuff. And people were saying that TikTok was actually letting stuff get out. And they're like, that's why they're trying to censor now. And it goes back to, one of the groups you can't discuss. I recently read an article that said, we have a Gen Z problem, and ever since this conflict has happened in the Middle East, with the little hat guys, and, Palestine and all that stuff has erupted, they're like, TikTok has become a haven of hate, and Gen Z is, starting to pick all this stuff up. So now all of a sudden they're like, shut it down. We can't have that. So that's pretty much what they're doing, man, and it's part of the course. What we always knew was coming. Um, it's the first for a reason, and they take it first because they have to shut you up before they to plan what they're gonna do to you. You know what's coming next, so yeah, get prepared for that. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, like and subscribe. I appreciate it if you share the content. It helps. Let me know what you guys think. And till the next one, you know what I always say. We are on our own. No one's coming to save us. So get right with God, because only God can save you. Freedom Fighters out.